As expected, multiple rate cuts weren't enough to increase market activity in the Fraser Valley, with August sales being the second slowest we've seen in a decade. Jordan here with your Fraser Valley market real estate update for September of 2024. We actually just saw our third consecutive quarter-point rate cut as the Bank of Canada tries to steer the economy towards that elusive soft landing while avoiding the recession some would argue we're already in. With inflation targets coming in below expectations, I'm hearing sub 3%, they have a little more runway to take the pressure off without too much concern they'll blow past inflation targets even if they heat the economy up more than they'd like. First, let's talk stats and then I'll get into what I'm seeing out in the wild. The Fraser Valley Real Estate Board recorded 1,067 sales in August, down by 13% over last month and by 30% over the 10-year seasonal average. August sales were the second slowest seasonally adjusted sales in a decade. Inventory levels in the Fraser Valley dipped slightly in August, with active listings at 8,626. That's down 1% from July, but that's 37% higher than August of 2023. New listings dropped nearly 20% in August to 2,778, largely because sellers have decided to wait for the stronger fall season. With a sales to active listing ratio of 12%, overall market conditions are just shy of a buyer's market. The market is considered balanced by the real estate board when the ratio is between 12% and 20%. The last time the Fraser Valley dipped into buyer's market territory was spring of 2020. Even Langley townhomes, which had been one of the strongest performing markets, took a significant dip last month, moving from strong sellers into balanced market, and even sales fell by more than 40% month over month. Oddly enough, Chilliwack condos was one of the only markets in the valley that saw both an improvement in sales and in prices. I have a strong feeling that is due to it being the most affordable product in one of the most affordable market areas, and people are choosing value as they continue to feel squeezed financially. As rates drop further, this is likely a market to watch for healthy value gains. If you'd like to see more in-depth stats, check out the market area page at jkre.ca. Across the Fraser Valley in August, the average number of days to sell increased slightly, with a single-family detached home taking 33 days, while for a condo it was 32. Townhomes took, on average, 28 days to sell. Inventory up, sales down, days on market up, so it's no surprise to see that benchmark prices in the Fraser Valley dipped again in August, with the composite benchmark price at $992,800. Single-family detached fell to $1,523,500. That's down 0.4% compared to July of 2024 and down 0.4% compared to August of last year. Townhomes fell to $846,300, down 0.3% compared to last month and down 0.1% compared to last year. Apartments fell to $546,200. That's down 0.9% compared to July of 2024 and down 0.8% compared to August of last year. So we're continuing this slow downwards trajectory, at least for now. These aren't massive drops, but each month adds up and we're moving towards a more affordable price point. With rates continuing to fall, we'll reach and then surpass that equilibrium point where buyers en masse decide that now's the time. We're just not quite there yet. Anecdotally, lenders are competing harder than ever to maintain market share, and we've seen fixed rates start falling as a result. In a recent interview, Dave McKay, an executive with RBC, called the rate war they're in historic. It sounds a little hyperbolic to me, considering the recent earning reports also led to historic share prices with a third quarter earnings of $4.49 billion. That's up $633 million over last year, so you'll forgive me if I don't shed a tear for the big banks. Either way, we're officially back in the mid-fours for many borrowers. Speaking to a trusted broker colleague of mine, he expects rates to have a 3 in front of them by Halloween, pushed down by falling bond yields. He also cautioned me that the weatherman has better luck with predictions, so take that with a grain of salt. I guess we'll see pretty quick though. That brings us back to the equilibrium point I mentioned. I've had a lot of clients this past year that want to move up, either in size of home or to a location that suits them better, but just can't make the numbers work because of the rates. There are some that have purchase price as the main hurdle, but for most it's rates. So they're planning to wait on rates to drop in order to make their moves. This is the safest and most financially prudent course of action. Unfortunately, it's also what everyone else is planning on doing, and I personally prefer to be proactive rather than reactive when it comes to real estate. I actually just acquired another property from my personal portfolio, closing on it at the end of the month. Did I buy at the absolute lowest point in the market? Maybe, maybe not. But I know that I got good value for a great property today because I wasn't competing with a bunch of other buyers who have been waiting to make moves for years. Bear in mind, the demand for real estate hasn't changed, only the ability by which a consumer base can satisfy that demand. I see it as a bit of a stretched rubber band. Anyway, that was a long-winded way of saying things are slow now, but I don't expect them to stay that way forever. The question is, when do we bottom out and begin the upward climb on sales and prices? My gut's telling me that it's sooner rather than later. But as fans of The Chosen will tell you, soon is the most imprecise word in the world. If I had to put money on it, and I kind of just did, I'd say we bottom at about 3 to 4 months and then a strong climb come spring of 2025. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? Do you think we're near the bottom of the market, or is there a long way to go? Do you believe fixed rates will be in the 3s by Halloween? I'd love to hear from you. And as always, if you have any questions of Fraser Valley real estate, whether that's buying, selling, or investing, give me a call. Thanks.